Dear friends, in this video I suggest we talk about the business plan, which investors would look at and find appealing. This video I will tell you how to make the business plan that is suitable for investors. Not for financiers, not for accountants, but specifically for investors. So let's get started. Firstly, we should write down the one-time costs. That is to say, how much money and for what exactly we need to start a business or implement a project. This is the first question an investor has. You simply type your Excel table one-time costs and then start writing down everything you need. We are doing it now by the example of a restaurant or a cafe. Here it says, design project, this amount of money, rough finishing materials, this amount of money, equipment, that amount of money, staff hiring, name tags, menus, check folders, TVs, a washing machine, basically anything you will need in order to open a restaurant. Furniture, decor, machinery, hardware, right up to rent payments, just everything. You write down the name, enumerate it first, then write down the name and how much it will cost. That's it. Everything is really simple. We just answered the question, which amount of money do we need? Let's talk on our example precisely. 28,389,373 rubles. This is an average number for a restaurant. It could be million rubles, it could be 100 million, doesn't really matter. Now we know for sure how much money we want to spend on what. That's the first thing. The second point is our staffing table. Thereby, which job positions we'll have and how many, which salary and how many % of profits our staff will have, and what will our monthly wage fund account for. So there you include managers, accountants, sous chef, waiters, everyone. There might be other job positions in your business, that's not that important. We need to calculate the wage fund. We do this in one sheet as well, and also note on which schedule they work. 5 work days and 2 days off, 7 work days in a row, 6 work days and 1 weekend, and so on. In this table we specify all of that. How much a person works, which salary and % of profit receives, which schedule has, and what is your monthly wage fund. The second table addresses the question, how much will our employees get paid every month? The next thing is estimation. This is the main table. Don't freak out, everything is really simple here as well. And now I will explain it to you. Here we have planned monthly proceeds, planned monthly expenses, total cost price, net profit, and payback period on this project. Namely, these are all of the questions that investor asks. Generally, anyone would need about 15 minutes to study this table and be able to understand the numbers in this business plan. This is why it's very appealing to investors. Because they don't have time, they don't want to listen and spend ages on boring tables and such. So, we're moving on. Let's say the restaurant has 180 checks per day. Your business also has a check, no matter what type of business it is, restaurant, shop, or other. We're speaking about the amount of checks in any place you choose. You should write down the daily number of checks. Then, every day, I'm gonna have this amount of people. Then you figure out the average check. It doesn't matter whether you have a shop or a restaurant. For instance, we own a restaurant, so we figure out the average check of it. We decided that our average check is gonna be 800 rubles. If you need to learn how to calculate an average check, text me and I will film a video on working out an average check of non-existent restaurant. So let's move on. The proceeds restaurant has per day. Namely, if you have 180 checks a day, 800 rubles each, your proceeds will account for 144,000 rubles. Further on, you take 180 and multiply it by 30, the number of customers. What you get is 5,400 people. So you multiply your average proceeds, which is 144,000 rubles, by 30 days, and there you have total monthly revenue. Thus, you realize that your proceeds from this restaurant will constitute 4,320,000 rubles. Everything is really easy. I hope you got it. Let's continue. Concerning monthly expenditures, how many expenses do you have and what are they like? Which items of expenditure will you have? Next, municipal services 120,000 rubles, rent 500,000 rubles, for example, banking costs 43,000, taxis 21,000. Here we have our salaries from the staffing table. We also have cost price of raw product here. It's possible to specify the cost price of raw product in percentage terms. I have 33% at the cost price of raw product here for this project specifically. External expenditures 21,000 rubles, advertising 2% from the proceeds, transport costs, phone and internet, office costs, cash register maintenance, under contract servicing, garbage removal. All of these expenditures are month to month. They are paid constantly. You spend money on this every month. And depending on the turnover of the business, some costs are increasing. And so you have now written down all monthly expenditures. That's it. We're finished with them. Now we clearly see the total cost price of our restaurant or any other business. We have 4,476,435 rubles as a total monthly cost price. That's all our expenses per month. We recognize that the next row is total cost price, and we see that we have minus 156,435 rubles as a net profit. Which means that if we have 180 checks per day while working on this project, we'll be running at a deficit of 156,000 rubles. Here we have total one-time investment which we had in the expenditure tab. That's the amount of money that we've invested. The lowest row shows when we recoup this project. We make such estimations for 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, for as many numbers of years as you please. And how do we do it? Here, have a look. We understand that if we make 180 checks all the time, our project will be simply unprofitable. We must realize which marketing tools we'll use, how we will increase our revenue, and generally which capacity our restaurant or any other business has. How many checks per day can they make? So if we make 300 in 1 day, we'll obtain 7,200,000 rubles as a turnover and 1,591,750 rubles as a profit. That's in case we have 300 checks. Moving on, if we have, for instance, 400 checks, then our turnover will account for 9,600,000 rubles. We have deducted all of the expenses and now have 3,287,000 rubles as a net profit left. And every month we compile a plan. In this plan, we have calculations for a whole year. We need to understand clearly how much money in which month we should make. And if, for example, you don't attract investors while being an owner, a restaurateur, in case your restaurant has no plan, your proceeds perspective is always unclear. It merely is what it is. You don't have any monthly plan concerning the proceeds which you have to meet. Therefore, you can't even assign tasks to your marketer properly. You'll only complain to everyone that your employees perform poorly and you have no idea what's happening in your restaurant. They will tell you, go and make some profits. But where are our clients? you will ask a marketer. On the contrary, with the plan, you have a clear understanding that you need to get 300 clients per month who will pay you 800 rubles each. There is a precise objective already. To attract 300 clients worth 800 rubles each, this is a task for a marketer. This way he is aware that his goal is expressed in numerical form. And every month we improve the number of checks by, for example, 10. It means that if we plan to attract 150, 160, 180 checks this month, next month we will strive for 190 checks. Accordingly, each month we raise the bar higher by 10 more checks so that your marketer comes up with more and more methods and draws more people to your business. You'll have monthly proceeds plans. You'll understand clearly how many clients you need in order to make a concrete profit. Let's say you want to buy a car which costs 2 million. How many clients with whichever check your business needs so that you could buy yourself a car in 1 month? 2 million. Let's have a look. 320 people will each pay 800 rubles and you'll receive 7,680,000 rubles as a proceeds. After paying all of the costs, you'll have 2,026,310 rubles left. So, roughly speaking, you can even schedule your costs and therefore have certain benchmarks. You realize that to buy something, you need a particular amount of money. For this purpose, you need that amount of customers with that average check. And when you show the simple table to absolutely anyone, to basically any investor, he will find it easy and comprehensible. Let's now talk about those business plans that financiers make. Many investors and other entrepreneurs don't even want to look at them, because everything there is really complicated. It makes no sense to them, so they avoid it. They say something like, "Sorry, I'm running out of time now." Or they say, "I would take a look at your business plan, but I have no way now to get involved in it. I have other projects." No investor would ever say, "Sorry, I didn't understand a thing there," because no one wants to be seen as a foolish person who can't even understand a business plan. Therefore, you should make everything in a really simple manner, so that your business plan could be understood even by a 5th grader. Such business plan will be perfect for any investor and any business. If you have any questions about a business plan, leave a comment. If you want to learn how to make a professional business plan, and I call it professional because it suits both you, an investor, as well as entrepreneur, and any type of business. If you want to learn how to make it, you can buy our online course and master making such business plans yourself. It's been me, OYBEK XO. Keep in touch. I wish you all the best.